top stories in 90 seconds.
Now for the great reveal of the check. Are we ready?
Colorado has a brand new millionaire.
It was very surreal, of course. I was at work in a meeting.
This healthcare worker has seen the pain of the pandemic firsthand.
We've experienced the peaks of hope as we saw people start to receive treatment to get back to being well, but also valleys of despair.
Don't worry, there are still 4 more chances to win big. But is this method increasing vaccination rates? We look at the numbers.
It's just another message to them that Rita's not coming back.
A new indictment for the murder of Rita Gutierrez Garcia 3 years ago.
A joyous day, but at the same time it's heartbreaking because I still don't have my daughter.
Plus, Colorado business owners say homeless camps are hurting their bottom line.
It's escalated quite a bit since the beginning of the year, where we have had the homeless moved.
We take their concerns right to police.
Do you believe this spike in crime is due to the homeless?
And a community is on the brink of losing one of its safe spaces.
Because I've worked in the lesbian bar scene since '96, and when I got here there was 5 lesbian bars.
Now Colorado's last standing lesbian bar is looking for your help.
In order for these queer spaces to thrive and survive, it takes the village to come out and support it.
Good Friday evening, and thank you for watching Denver7 News on Local 3. I'm Jessica Porter. We start with breaking news in Denver. Officers say they shot a man in the area of East 38th and Newport Street in the Park Hill neighborhood. In a press conference, police say they received calls about someone circling a park. They say when officers approached the car, they saw a handgun, and the suspect refused to drop it. No word on the condition of the man shot. Police say no officers were injured. Also breaking tonight, a man has been arrested for allegedly trying to break into the cockpit of a Delta Airlines plane mid-flight. This happened on a flight from Los Angeles to Nashville. The plane made an emergency landing in Albuquerque. No one was injured. Well, this is Colorado's first $1 million comeback cash winner. Sally Sliger is from Meade in Weld County and is a healthcare worker. Governor Polis was on hand to introduce her as the first winner.
It was surreal. I still haven't really quite gotten there yet.
Sally said today that she got the vaccine as soon as it was offered to her. She found out she was the winner through a text she got at work. And here's what she said when asked how she plans to spend the money.
We don't know yet. This is the first time this has ever happened. It's a little overwhelming. We plan to have a lot of conversations with our family, of course, and I think there's things around the house we want to do, of course, and some student loans we need to pay off and to help our sons. So I don't know. I'm sorry.
You don't have to decide today, Sally.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations, Sally and Chris.
That is so exciting for Sally and her family. Now, you still have a chance to win. There will be 4 more drawings. They will happen every week until July 2nd. So far, the state isn't seeing the big turnout of people getting vaccinated as it hoped. The state health department tells our partners at the Denver Post that they did see a little bump in numbers once the lottery was announced, but numbers have leveled off since. The governor hopes now that the first winner is public, it will encourage others to get the shot, knowing that really anyone can win. He also says he stands by his decision to invest the money this way rather than into TV advertising. For context, although we haven't seen the big jump in vaccination numbers here in Colorado, the incentives in other states seem to be working. Let's take Ohio, for example. They also offered a $1 million incentive. In the week following the announcement, vaccination rates jumped 33%. And for Coloradans aged 12 to 17 years old, here's an incentive for you to get vaccinated. If you have at least 1 dose of the vaccine, you can win a $50,000 scholarship. Starting Monday, 5 scholarships will be given away each week for 5 weeks, totaling 25 scholarships. The drawings will continue each week through July 9th. So far, about 25% of Colorado kids between 12 and 17 have been vaccinated. And the CDC says getting the vaccine for teens is crucial because COVID still poses a serious threat. A new CDC analysis finds that 1/3 of adolescents hospitalized with COVID ended up in the ICU. Here's ABC senior national correspondent Steve Osunsami.
The head of the CDC wants every American parent tonight to hear their new report showing that a few more children are getting sick with COVID-19 and are needing to be hospitalized.
I strongly encourage parents to get their teens vaccinated, as I did mine.
They looked at 204 sick teenagers. 1 in 3 wound up in the ICU. 10 of those children needed machines to help them breathe. More than 70% had at least one underlying medical condition, and 2 out of 3 were Black or Hispanic.
What we learned from this study is that this is also a serious disease in children. The good news is there is now a vaccine available to prevent it.
13-year-old Alina Valenzuela played volleyball and was as healthy as can be when she came down with COVID-19 in January. She survived a heart attack, but lost her leg to a blood clot while fighting the disease.
It's hard for us to understand and comprehend what's going on because she is so energetic and athletic and never has been a sick child.
So far, only about 25% of American teenagers 12 to 17 years old have gotten one dose of the Pfizer vaccine, and just 9% are fully vaccinated. As health officials try to put more shots into the arms of children, the investigation into the origins of the coronavirus continues. And tonight, Dr. Anthony Fauci is under fire. He's accused of downplaying the possibility that the virus was leaked from a Chinese lab early in the pandemic. Like most scientists, he's calling for more investigation, but doesn't buy the theory that scientists engineered COVID-19 on purpose.
The idea, I think, is quite far-fetched that the Chinese deliberately engineered something so that they could kill themselves as well as other people. I think that's a bit far out.
At the end of a news conference today, the president was asked if he still has confidence in Dr. Fauci, and he said yes.
Mr. President, you feel confident in Dr. Fauci?
Yes, I'm very confident in Dr. Fauci.
At the same time that health officials are encouraging eligible teenagers to get vaccinated, they're also warning doctors about a small number of cases of heart inflammation they're seeing among a small group of teenagers who've gotten the vaccine. Health officials here at the CDC say it's not clear whether those cases are connected to the vaccine at this point, and they underline that even if they are, it's such a small number of cases in the large universe of millions of children in America who've gotten the vaccine without any problems. Steve Osunsami, ABC News, Atlanta.
Steve, thank you. Police have charged a longtime suspect in the 2018 disappearance of a Longmont woman, Rita Gutierrez Garcia. The mother of 3 was last seen on St. Patrick's Day in 2018 in the parking lot of 3's Bar in Longmont. Her body has never been found, but investigators believe she's dead. Convicted criminal Juan Figueroa is now formally charged with her murder. In a press conference, Rita's mother says the break in this case is bittersweet.
We are grateful for this day, a joyous day, but at the same time it's heartbreaking because I still don't have my daughter.
Figueroa is already in prison serving a 93-year sentence for murder in an unrelated case. Northbound I-25 will close tomorrow night at 7 until 1 Sunday afternoon, so crews can replace part of a bridge that was hit in February. The bridge being fixed is the Sky Ridge Avenue Bridge between Ridgegate Parkway and Lincoln Avenue. 2 inside lanes of southbound I-25 will also be closed. Full overnight closures will happen many nights throughout June. Well, there's a nationwide effort to preserve queer spaces facing financial struggles because of the pandemic. A campaign is raising hundreds of thousands of dollars to make sure no other lesbian bar closes its doors. Denver7's Patrick Perez takes us inside the last remaining lesbian bar in all of Colorado.
This isn't your lesbian bar of the early 2000s.
Times have changed, and the clientele has changed, and the queer generation has changed.
Over the years, Denver's Blush and Blue on Colfax has become a safe haven for all kinds of people.
The whole LGBTQ queer community, the whole rainbow mafia.
To say it's grown since Jody Buffard opened it in 2005 is an understatement.
It went from this wall to this wall, and it was 800 square feet back.
Now it's more than 2,000 square feet with 3 levels, providing enough room for everyone to feel welcomed.
It's where I met all my friends. It's where I learned that not just that I can be myself, but what myself is.
But the bar isn't a class of its own, a very small class. the only remaining so-called lesbian bar in Colorado, and one of fewer than 24 in the whole country.
I can't believe it, to be honest.
A changing clientele and a supportive community may be what's keeping Jody's bar running.
Over the course of the last 10 years, rents have only gone up and up and up, and lesbians have the least amount of disposable income in order to go out and party.
The need to keep these bars open has never been greater. That's why last year a campaign called Lesbian Bar Project raised more than $100,000 to help these bars pay their rent.
Without space, we lack community, we lack intergenerational dialogue, and we lack a space where we could be our authentic selves.
Now the goal this Pride Month is to raise more than $200,000 to help these bars as they come out of the pandemic.
Our population isn't just straight, it isn't just white, it isn't just binary. And it's important that we have space that is catered to us.
Even with the pressure as one of the last of its kind for an underserved community, Jody will keep this place open as long as there's a need and there's support.
In order for these queer spaces to thrive and survive, it takes the village to come out and support it.
Patrick Perez, Denver7.
We've been hit with a trailer theft. Our vehicles have been broken into on 3 separate occasions.
Business owners insist a rise in crime is from the rising homeless population.
It kind of makes you wonder, if this is the best place for us. Should we move to another city?
Why police believe it could be due to repeat offenders and why they have no way to stop it.
Our radar screen is pretty clean. I'll let you know if that quiet weather will last all weekend long.
Plus, a special night for teen patients at Children's Hospital.
When I first heard about prom, I was super excited because I just didn't think I was going to get to go to prom at all.
How the hospital gave them a night to just feel like a teen again.
This is such a cool place to throw prom, and it's definitely kind of a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.